Yes, people, we are back live. We are back live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube for another edition of the Sarcasm City Sports Q&A, where we answer sporting questions from the chat. This is all about the lovely citizens in the city of sarcasm, people. So get your questions in. As you can see from the title, even though it's been rubbish just before I went live, Luis Campos linked to Manchester United as a sporting director. He's currently under contract at PSG, even though it runs out this season. So we'll be discussing that. In regards to top five and the race for the Champions League spots, Chelsea beat Liverpool 3-1 at Stamford Bridge. Newcastle drawing late equalizer at Brighton, so they're still in the race as well. So that is heating up because you got all those teams there in for the Arsenal could get dragged into it. You've got Newcastle, like I said, who drew today, Chelsea winning, Villa back in the mix. Nottingham Forest will look to win tomorrow as well to further strengthen their place for those Champions League spots. So get your questions in, people. If you're a member of the channel, your question takes priority like a super chat. So if you're a member, then I will star your question and I will get to it. And of course, if you super chat, they're the two surefire ways to make sure I get to your question. Super chats or becoming a member. Link for the membership is in the pinned comment. Make sure though, when you enter the city, people, as you drive through the city, or even if you're a regular resident, pay your tax in the city. Pay your tax. Hit the like button. That's what I need you lot to do. Hit the like button on the video. Make sure you share this out across all the socials at That's Me Flawless, at Sarcasm City TV. You should be following on Twitter and Instagram. Follow across both. Share. Again, hit that like button, whether you're watching live right now or watching this back. And just as important as those two things, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell as well, people. Make sure you hit subscribe, hit that notification bell, roll to 15K. The aim is to hit that during this month because we are like 175 away or something like that. So please do so. Ryan's in the building as well. What are you saying, Ryan? You good?
Yeah, good, man. How are you?
All blessed, man. All blessed, all blessed. Big up to Warrior J. I've started your question, Warrior J. So big up to you, pals. Love to see you in the chat. Shout out to pals every single time. Dazzle, big up to you. Daniel, Jardel in the cut as well. Let's see who else is here. Let's see. Mark, big up. Says big up Flawless every time. Big up. I hope you are blessed too. Also, like up the thing, people. Pay your rent. Exactly, man. Pay the tax. Tell him again, Mark. Tell him again. Tell him again. So let's see what's going on. And taking Amrim, now my guy Campos. Daniel, it has been rubbished recently. It has been rubbished.
Yeah, didn't Ben Jacobs put a tweet out?
In the past, Ben Jacobs, I think Fabrizio said something as well. But
Fabrizio, I don't even know if Fabrizio said something about it.
No, I think so. I think that's what Saeed just said. But I know it's something you lot are going to ask me about anyway. But Warrior J says, after today's results, who do you think gets top five? And do you think Newcastle versus Chelsea will be the big one on Sunday next week? PS, F the people that scheduled this game at 7. Oh, yeah, because it's 12 p.m. UK time. So I know for you, it's early where you're at. So in regards to it, I'm just looking here at the top five. You know what? I think Arsenal get in. I think City get in. I think Newcastle get in. So it's one of three for me out of Chelsea, Forest, and Villa.
I think Forest. I don't think Forest get it. I'll be honest. I think Forest.
Go on, who's your five then?
So Liverpool, Arsenal. Although I don't think Arsenal will finish second actually, but they'll still be in top five.
You get top five, okay.
Yeah, I think City will get second. So Liverpool, City, Arsenal. I still think Newcastle will get it. I still think I still think Newcastle will get it, and I think Chelsea will get the fifth. I think Forest are showing too much kind of. I think they're kind of done. Like Forest, to be fair, I think Chelsea have hit form at the right time. Forest form has fallen off at the wrong time, and I just don't really see how Forest recover from this. To be honest, now really.
So I'm looking here at fixtures, people. So I'm just pulling them up because I do think it is Liverpool, Arsenal, City, Newcastle. I think they're 4 of the 5. So like I said, it's one of the 3. So I'm just pulling up everyone's fixtures and now in regards to the rest. So I'll pull up Chelsea's fixtures, Nottingham Forest fixtures, and also Aston Villa's fixtures as well. So the final 3 games for each of these 3 teams. So like Warrior J has mentioned in the question already. So Chelsea travel to Newcastle. That's next week, Sunday. Then they play Manchester United on Friday. And then they finish off away at Forest. Forest, they play Crystal Palace away, Leicester at home, West Ham away. And then Villa, they face Bournemouth away, Tottenham at home, and Manchester United away.
See, Villa, I forgot about Villa. They've got a chance, actually, because their fixtures
Villa have got a chance.
I'd actually argue out of those three, Villa's fixtures are probably the best.
Because Villa got 60. Villa are currently 7th on 60 points. Forest are 6 on 60 points. Bear in mind, they have a game in hand on everybody. Chelsea currently 5th on 63. Newcastle 4th on 63. Manchester City 3rd on 64. Arsenal 2nd on 67. So I look here and I go, yeah, because Forest obviously have the game in hand that I didn't mention.
I have
They
looked at
oh, yeah, I
Forest.
did.
Forest fixtures are actually quite okay, actually, when you
Yeah,
think of
because
Leicester
Forest,
and West Ham.
Palace away will be tough, but I fancy them Leicester at home and West Ham away.
Yeah,
but I would have said
same.
that about Everton and Brentford, but Chelsea at home as well. You know what?
I reckon it goes final day. I reckon it
I
goes
think
final
Forest.
day.
I think Forest get it. That's my pick. I think Forest get it.
I just think with Forest, they're
Forest get
really
it.
off it recently when I've watched them, you know.
Yeah, I just don't think that Chelsea get enough points from Newcastle away,
The
United
away
at home, and
games.
Forest away.
I think they'll beat
Even us
you. I
at
think
home.
Chelsea will beat you lot, but
To be honest, I think that's got draw. They should beat us. That's why I'm thinking.
you really think you get a draw there? When you've got
we just
Europa
always
League
draw
final
against
to
them.
concentrate on as well, like.
Yeah, they should beat us. But then even if they do, I don't think that'll be enough. I don't think they beat Newcastle away or Forest away.
I don't think they won't
beat
beat Newcastle. They won't beat Newcastle
I don't
away.
think they beat Forest. But I
Yeah,
think Forest
I think yeah.
Forest beat Leicester. And I think they get certain at West Ham.
I
And
think
Palace
Newcastle
away,
and Forest
they
are all
can,
wrong for Chelsea, I'll be honest, when I think about it.
and then
Yeah.
Villa have Bournemouth away, which will be tough. Spurs at home and United away. Their two fixtures.
Villa
They
can win the
should
last
win
two. They can win the last two.
They should. And their record against us is horrific, but they should beat us. That should Chelsea, to be honest. So, all right, let me actually try and put this together. So, Chelsea, let me see. I've actually got it. Let me take my bias. I think they lose at Newcastle. I think they beat Manchester United, and I think they draw at Forest. So, that would leave them on, my opinion, 4 points. So, I have Chelsea currently. Let me look at the table. I would have Chelsea on 67 points. So, I'd have Chelsea on 67 points. Forest have a game in hand. Their Forest beat Palace.
No,
I think they draw against
Palace. Have got FA. It's when you think of stuff like Palace have got FA Cup final. FA Cup. I think Forest go and draw. I think they'll draw to Palace.
Yeah, I think they draw too. So I got Forest drawing against Palace.
I think they'll win the two after that.
Leicester. I think they beat West Ham.
Yeah, I agree.
And they draw at Chelsea. So that's 1.
So that's 68 points.
7. Wait 1 second. That's 1. That's 4.
Yeah,
that's
68 points.
That's 8 points. So yeah, that would put them on. Yeah, you're right. 68 points.
So that's above Chelsea.
And then Aston Villa, Bournemouth away.
I think
they lose that.
I think they'll beat Bournemouth.
So you got them beating Bournemouth,
and
then you got them. So you got them getting 9 points then, because you think they'll beat Forest, Spurs, and United.
I think they'll beat Spurs.
I think they beat us
United. I think they'll beat you as well. I think they'll beat Spurs and United as well, because you two will probably have Europa League final to concentrate on. So
you got Villa. You got Villa 5th then.
Oh yeah, would.
Because you've got them winning 3. You have them reaching 69. You don't have Forest or Chelsea reaching.
Yeah, that's true, because Forest and Chelsea play each other, don't they? So
yeah, you don't have them, and then
I have Villa getting 5th then. Crazy.
So you got Villa. I got Forest. I think Forest.
You reckon Newcastle? No, Newcastle's fixtures are all right actually.
Newcastle, Chelsea at home, Arsenal away, Everton at home. I think they.
I think they'll be okay.
I think they'll beat Chelsea, Arsenal. Even though everyone expects
them to
beat
win. Arsenal.
Yeah, I think they'll draw against Arsenal. I think they'll beat Everton.
So I could see that. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I agree.
Which would take them to 70. So I think they're good.
You think?
So I've got
City
Liverpool, Arsenal, City, Newcastle, Forest. Do City finish second? Let me pull up their fixtures.
City's fixtures are pissed.
To play for. Like, the Arsenal go to you lot and win? Probably not. I think you beat Arsenal. Did they beat Newcastle? Probably not. Did they beat Southampton? Yes.
Yeah.
I've got.
But look at City's fixtures. They're so easy.
Let me look at City's fixtures. So I've got Arsenal getting 1. No, actually, I think 0. So I've got them getting 4 points from their final 9. Which
I think we'll beat them next. I actually think we'll beat them next week.
I think that takes them to 71. So big up Jez in the cut as well. Hope you're blessed, Jez. Right. Let me have a look at City's fixtures. Yeah, I hope you're blessed, Jez, man. Hope you're all good. Yeah. Right. So City take on Southampton away, Bournemouth at home, Fulham away. I think
they should beat all 3, to be honest with you. Fulham away is a bit tough. So they'll wash Southampton. I think they'll beat Bournemouth at home. But then actually, I don't know, because Wolves should have got
That's what I'm
something at
saying.
City.
Like, this is where I'm at. I think they beat Southampton away. I think they beat Fulham. So I think that's 6. Bournemouth, I'm not too sure.
Because
I'd
Bournemouth
say
Wolves should have
draw.
got something at Etihad, and Bournemouth are better than Wolves.
So yeah, Wolves should have. So that would take them to. I've got them getting 7 points, which would also
Yeah.
take them to. Shit, I got them level.
City better goal difference. Have they got a better goal difference?
No, Arsenal currently have a better goal difference.
By how much? Oh, there's
33
quite
to
a bit.
24.
There's about 9 in that.
Well, I've got
Okay,
Arsenal
fine,
finishing second on goal difference.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Yeah.
Jesus, it's gonna be close. Literally goal difference.
But then if
I don't think City
Newcastle
win their
beat,
final three.
if
Go on.
Newcastle go to Emirates and win, they could finish above Arsenal.
Yes, I just don't think they will, because
They did
Arsenal
beat
will
him in
play
Carabao
better with
Cup
no
at
pressure.
Emirates.
Yeah, but I think Arsenal are going to play better just with no pressure.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Yeah.
That's where it's. If there was
It's
something
whatever
on it,
happens
I'm
on
going
Wednesday,
Newcastle.
isn't it? Whatever happens on Wednesday, whether
Yeah.
they get through or not, they're playing that Premier League games with no pressure anymore, aren't they? So, I don't know.
Just what you saying? You've got me and Ryan was just going through. We think got top 5. We had different. We had Liverpool. This ain't in order. Arsenal, City, Newcastle. I had Forest. He had Villa. Who have you got? Because he was going through the fixtures.
What are you saying the teams was again?
Top 5. So my top 5 was, we had the same top 5. So it's the top 4 as it is now. His 5th was Villa. My 5th is Forest.
I'll probably go with Forest.
You're gonna go Forest as well, because we was looking through the fixtures, and it's like, yeah, it is extremely close.
I just don't trust Villa. I think a lot of people don't. I feel since the Steelers game, I don't think I've been impressed with Villa of any games, to be honest. I think Rodgers been terrible.
So we'll actually run through, because we can run through it. We'll run through the fixture now. So Newcastle, we'll get your predictions now, Jez. So Newcastle take on Chelsea at home, Arsenal away, Everton at home. So Newcastle, Chelsea, how many points? I mean, what did they win? Sorry, what did they win? The game, Newcastle, Chelsea. Prediction for that game.
I'll say draw.
So draw, okay. Arsenal, Newcastle.
Arsenal, Newcastle.
Week after, sorry.
It's at
the Emirates. Yeah, I always say the home team first. Yes.
Newcastle win.
All right, Newcastle win, and then they face Everton at home.
Everton at home.
Yeah,
their place, right? Okay, cool. I say win.
Okay, so you got Newcastle 7 points, getting 7 points from their final 3, which would take them to 70. You have them on 70 points. Cool. All right, so Chelsea. So 1 second, bear with me. Let me open up a new tab. So Chelsea take on Newcastle. You said, what did you say? You said draw for that game, right?
I said draw.
Okay, Chelsea then take on United next week, Friday.
Draw.
On a Friday.
And then yeah, Friday the 16th, 8 p.m. And then their last game is Forest away.
I think they win that one.
So you've got them getting 5 points. So 5 points for Chelsea. 5 points for Chelsea would take them to 68. All right. Nottingham Forest. And their games are they play Crystal Palace away tomorrow. What are you saying, Jez?
I think they win that one.
So that's a win. Leicester at home.
Win.
West Ham away.
Ooh, I say win.
Chelsea at home.
And that was the loss. I said.
Oh, you reckon Chelsea beat them there?
Actually, what did I say again for the Chelsea? I think I said Chelsea win at Nottingham Forest, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So they lose. I think Chelsea will win just because this last game, and I think the pressure to trying to get Champions League, since it's going to be split close. I think they're going to go to Forest, and I think they go to Forest and win, but I think Forest going to have enough points to at least be fifth.
So you got Forest on 69 points. So unless you have Villa winning all their games, which I don't think you do, yeah, that's the same as. No. He's saying, Victor, you good?
Yeah, good, man. How's everyone doing?
Blessings. You think you think Chelsea get top 5? What are you saying?
Do I think Chelsea get top 5? I think so. I think they do.
Okay. Do you think you win? Because you not have to win all your games, but you have to win because you lot got Newcastle away, Yo, yeah, what's your scoreline prediction? Newcastle away?
Newcastle away 2-2.
Okay, draw. United at home.
3-2 Chelsea.
Forest away.
2-1.
So you lot getting 7 points, which would take you lot to 70. All right, cool. So Newcastle, you had draw. Newcastle, Chelsea. Arsenal, Newcastle.
Newcastle winning that.
Newcastle 11.
Well, Newcastle. Ooh. See, if it was the other way around, I think Newcastle would have lost because last game Goodison. But because they're whole. I say 1-1.
So you reckon draw? Okay, so that means you got 1. So you got 1, 4. So you're gonna get 5 points from that, which would leave them on 68, which is less than you lot. And then Forest, they got Palace away. They got your Palace, your boys tomorrow.
They're losing. They are though.
Leicester at home.
I'm not even joking. I'm being dead serious.
I know you're being deadly serious. Forest at home. Forest at home. Leicester at home. Not even Forest. They got Leicester.
Oh, they're packing them. They're packing them.
West Ham away.
They're winning that too.
And then your Chelsea.
Well, I said they were losing, didn't I? Yeah.
All right, cool. So you got them getting 6 points.
Yeah.
Which would take them on 66. All right. So yeah, you do have you getting top 5. All right, Fez. Fair enough.
And also, I don't think Arsenal finished second.
Yeah, I agree.
I think they do, but on goal difference.
I think still just getting up points. Like we might be 1 point ahead. I can look at points.
No, that's fair. But yeah, you lot continue to run up the likes, man. Is I watch along for Forest Palace. We're playing football tomorrow. Yeah, I'll do a watch along for it because of the implications of it. Yes, I might be slightly late getting back. I don't know how long I'm going to be out for, but yeah. You lot continue to get your questions in. Flawless, what's your dream transfers this summer? Realistically, big up Beige and Pops as well. Who we been linked with? The likes of Cunha, the likes of Bremo, for example. There isn't anyone we've been linked with.
If it says dream transfers, maybe it's the end of the day. Like, to be fair, you can't say dream and say realistic in the same time.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah,
I'm saying like
that
really makes sense. You can't because
I think you're saying my dream transfers from a realistic standpoint. So the best of the best.
But then again,
like Cunha falls in that bracket, to be honest. To defend him.
It's like saying, what's your best case scenario window? In a way.
More so it's like I said, it's profiles and just positions. Like, yeah, the 210s, cool, striker, yes, that's what I'm looking at. Midfielder desperately needed, goalkeeper needed. Right down the spine of the team. I've been saying that. Spine of the team is the most important thing because we need vast improvements there. Goalkeeper, yes. Central midfielder, yes. We need 2 actually, just because of the lack of quantity we have there and players leaving. But goalkeeper, central midfielder, 10, striker. They're the main things in regards to stars. And then even in addition to that, another centre back, because 2 centre backs are going to leave. Central midfielder, because for instance, Eriksen's leaving. Another 10, because you got so many attackers leaving. You got Rashford leaving, you got Sancho leaving, you got Garnacho potentially leaving, you got Anthony leaving. That's 4. 4 players who could play 10. Can't only bring in 1 for 4. Don't make no type of sense. Somewhere short now. And even with Højlund leaving, that could be another striker as well. That's how I look. So yeah, that's what it is. But yeah, Cunha and Bremo, everyone we've been linked to, I look at with any form of Vim, I would take. Like, cool. I have no issues with. Go on.
Isn't the real question is, would you want the manager to stay next season? Because if you're getting transfers, obviously you want players to suit that profile.
Yeah, suiting that.
Some United fans kind of want him to go already.
I've heard United fans saying even if he wins Europa, he should go, and I kind of agree with them. Like, your league form is actually like disgraceful. I can't even lie. Like,
I don't agree.
I don't agree. Personally, I think that's. I understand the whole thing of like where are the standards and all that, but bro, the standards are the standard of players is extremely low. Like, I understand. Like, I understand. No, hold on. I haven't finished enough. I understand the poor league form, and based on the league form, there's arguments that you definitely can say if he doesn't win Europa, or even if he wins the Europa, he's basically unsackable, offense type of form. But at the same time, I'm like looking at it from a scenario where I'm like, you gotta give the guy at least the summer because you brought him in to you brought him in to do better what the last manager did. You didn't do it. But then the idea now is that you brought him in player in January just to get him something going for the rest of the season. That for me just shows that you definitely want to keep him at least for another season and let him see with transfers that the club should do. Not players for him, but players that can adjust to multiple systems. That's what really should be happening at United, and then give him like a deadline. Okay, we want to see this, this, and that over a course of period from next season going forward. I understand people have been harsh because it's been terrible, but I do not think that I don't think it's justifiable to sack the manager when he at least hasn't been given a preseason. Like, let's say he would have been knocked out by Sociedad or some shit. Then I think it's the argument to sack him this season would have been more fair. But I believe United is already in the final unless some stupid thing happened on Thursday. So you at least got them to a final. You're probably favorites for the final, in my opinion, whoever you're gonna play. And if you win it, it's immense. Despite of how bad the season was, you still was able to end the season with a trophy. So at least give this guy at least next season to kind of prove, okay, what do we got? Like for me, the energy shouldn't be necessarily on the manager for me at this moment in time. I think the energy should be more on the ownership and for putting United in the situation where we just brought this guy in a couple of months ago, and the argument is already that he should be leaving. When in reality, the last guy should have left way earlier. So this guy that's currently in could have had at least a preseason, could have had able to get players in more, being able to understand the players. Because one thing you can see, kind of like, even though he does still stupid decisions with his lineups of certain players that he's playing, you can start and see that he's starting to use layers that he wasn't trying to use at the beginning. Like you see the form of Casemiro. Everybody, and this again is just football fans in general, but it was Casemiro's a bum. He needs to get out of here. All of a sudden, he's the savior in order. So for me, it's like I understand the criticism. I'm not even here trying to argue that it has been bad, but at least give the guy a summer and let's see from next season how he starts off. Like if it's a bad start, regardless of fixture and hardness, and he doesn't do well, then I think the argument is fair. But at least I say at least a summer. Give him at least a summer. And it shouldn't be players just specifically for him. There should be players that you can envision of quality, but also you can envision yourself. Even if you go and make manager change, these players have no issues immediately adjusting to a new manager, because this is what really football should be about. It shouldn't be rebuying players for the manager. You only do that when you have like a Pep Guardiola or a club where you know that if I specifically buy you these players, we're going to win you the league.
You're going to be
going to win the Champions League. You're going to be successful. But we don't know that. With Ten Hag, we didn't know that. But what the issue was, United go and buy players that the manager wants to know they start with those players. That's the issue.
Facts. Agreed. Yeah, that's where I'm at with it in regards to it. I hear why people are hammering out because the form's diabolical in the league. So I fully understand why. That's why I've not argued anybody down or said, you're wrong for that. You shouldn't have the mindset, because all the metrics, all the stats, all the eye test, everything is horrid. However, on the flip side, where I'm at is I want the players gone first. Now, if you tell me all the players go and the manager go with them, cool. I have no qualms with that. But players gone first. I don't want no more remontadas, no more clean slates, no more fresh starts. I don't want a new manager to join and it's what can I do with such and such? Or what can I do with Maguire? Can I get the best out of Lindelof? I could use Luke Shaw. I could use Højlund, Garnacho, Rashford, Sancho. No, none of that. These players are not good enough. Some of these players been here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 managers. Get these men gone first. That's where I'm at. Then after that, what happens with the manager happens with the manager. But these players have to be gone. I don't want to give the next manager the opportunity to play these players who are not good enough. Likes of Onana, etc. No. Move these men on. And all the noise is saying that. And I don't want that to change even if Manchester United win the Europa League. Leave through the door with your Europa League winners medal. That's in an ideal world what I would like.
To be honest, I think
this man is cooked anyway. I don't think he lasts to the end of next season anyway, to be honest. Because
Even
everything
if he wins
points to him not
Europa.
to. Yeah, even if he wins Europa. Because the things he's doing is not all on the quality of the lack of quality with the players. His form's horrific. Like
Yeah, I
everything
agree. I
points
agree
to,
with you.
like, so I can't, and you're making daft decisions, and unless you all of a sudden have a manager transplant, like personality change, like what's going to be different? Yes, we'll have better players, cool, but your shortcomings will still be your shortcomings. It just won't be as bad because you have better players on the pitch. But then they'll get to a point where it's like, right, you have talent, you've been backed. Like, and it's still bad. Like, no, like that's just, it's unacceptable. Yeah, it's unacceptable. You know
that's the thing, innit? That's the thing, innit? Because like, and I always say like, I'm not fans of managers who, unless you legit proven that, okay, if you go and buck you're gonna win us some. I don't like managers where the whole idea is that if you have to give them all of their players. Like for me,
yes,
managers who are not proven, show me what you as a manager yourself can bring to the table first before I can sit here and say, okay, I'm selling myself as a football club to you to give you all the things that you want to go and make this club be successful. But for managers who are not proven, I'm like, who are you to tell us that we have to buy you all the quality players just specifically for your system? But then we don't know what the end result's gonna be. Like we saw what you did in Portugal, but you're not in Portugal anymore. You're a different football club now. We operate differently to what we was doing and what you was comfortable with in Portugal. So you, instead of thinking of, oh, the United's gonna give me the players that I need, the first thing that you should do, impress us, impress us as the ownership, but also impress the fans in terms of what you as a manager is capable of. So at least people can say, you know what, I can trust this manager. It just needs a bit more time. That's what the reality is. But then in the same issue, this is where I think the issue with United is that I don't rate the ownership, to be honest. That's my biggest. That's so you have like two issues where like the manager might not be good enough, but then in the same time the ownership is not operating of how an elite football club should be operating. Like they're operating to a level where United can definitely be a top 4 team, season on seasons, be in the Champions League, sometimes drop to the Europa League because of unfortunate circumstances or some shit like that. But overall, to competing for league titles on a consistent basis, as of right now, I don't think United's current ownership show me that they want to be or they operate like they have the mindset of wanting to be an elite football club.
No, you right. Yeah. No, you smart. 110%. I hear it. Like, and that's where I'm at with it. That's why I don't defend this manager. It's just for him, because of the situation he's walked into and the players are so bad, is where he's just lower down on my priority list. If he had a summer and he had brought in these players and we was performing like this, I'd be saying, hey, get this manager gone. There's no way. But this is a predicament that I've never seen before. And I understand you walked into the worst possible predicament. However, on the flip side, you knew about this. It's not like you was blindsided. You decided to join during this period of time. So that's how I look at it. And if this continues, even after we manage out, the board have to act decisively. Don't wait. No assessment period like it was with Ten Hag, and don't wait till November if it's going bad from August. You got August, September. We'll know 5-6 games into the season. By the middle of September, we'll know, actually, because there might be international break, but 5, 6, 7 games into the season, which is end of September, start of October. Well, no. Season starts the 16th, I think, or 13th of August, mid. So you got August, you got a couple weeks, 2-3 weeks, and then you got September, like I said, despite the international breaks. Well, no. They just have to act decisively, but we'll see. Do you think any of us is smart enough to sell these players? Yeah, definitely. Because that's one thing. As much as I don't like Ineos, that's one thing they've done very well. We sold well in the summer, and we've bought well. I like the incomings. I like the profiles. I like the price points. It's just that they've done so much bad shit. But that is the one good thing. I'm balanced like that. I can dislike our ownership, but if they do something well, go, hey, you do well at this. Same way I can think a player's not good, but if he plays well, I'll say, oh, such and such is playing well, or such and such is in good form. But yeah, so I think they are, because we had a record summer in terms of sales last season, and if we play it right, we should have a record season. We should break that record this season. with the amount of players we're letting go, we should really break that record. If we sell Sancho, Rashford, Anthony, Garnacho, Højlund, that's 5 right there. I did my last year as well. Obviously, Ericsson and Lindelof on a free, but the 5-6 players I just mentioned there, that should total more. I think we made 100 million. Those 5 should be more than 100 M's combined. And that's excluding any surprise sales. Let's say a Casemiro. Let's say Nana, for example. Or whoever, a Luke Shaw or Maguire. I'm just throwing names out. Everyone can go, man. Like, fuck it. Pretty much. I'm tired of these lot.
Yo, can I
Thoughts on Kane? Yeah, go on, fam. Go on.
I literally wanted to go on. I don't have to tell them. I literally wanted to literally talk about that because there's something well, obviously, fair to Kane. Obviously, you can clearly tell by his stories, IG post, Twitter post, guys that he won his first trophy and major trophy, and so I'm happy for before anybody thinks Jesus is about to go and cook this guy. I'm not even here to cook him, but I'm actually more about. I'm about to talk about the hypocrites in football, But before I go there, obviously, congrats on him winning that. Obviously, I think it was obvious. I told Steve that Bayern was going to win the league title. He was trying to tell me I'll be Leipzig. Okay, man. And also what's it called? Leverkusen. What they did last season was incredible, but it was something that one out of a million season would actually happen for a team, considering their structure and how they are as a football club to even do that. Even for them competing was even just something that wasn't on the cards, and them going invincible, which is even more beyond what they did. So, big up on him. Big up to obviously, and also big up. People don't talk about it. I think Kompany's the first black manager to win the Bundesliga.
Hey, shout out Kompany, man.
So for me, it's much so obviously buying the minimum is to go and win the Bundesliga. I'm not saying that it's a massive achievement in terms of being a Bayern manager, but I still think sometimes you should be able to credit the manager, especially a manager who hasn't been in a space like this before. You could have easily buttered the season because Leverkusen wasn't that many games behind from Bayern at one stage, but he was still able to go and get the results. So I feel like Kompany should get some credit as well. Now, where I want to go to is football hypocrites on football, people who, and the way people speak about Kane in terms of how now that he has won this trophy, the guy, it's like, it's the way people speak about him. They want to act differently now. That because he has won the Stevens backstage, but Stevens the backers, by the way. But because Kane has won a major trophy in his career, everybody think that's it. The guy finally has made it. He's the guy now and all this stuff. I've seen people say like they can finally rate Kane because he has won a trophy. And I'm like, no Bundesliga and one Bundesliga doesn't change automatically now in my opinion at least, doesn't change my opinion about Kane as the footballer as from ability standpoint or what he represents in football. I'm happy for him winning the trophy. But what I don't like is how people are trying to portray it as if like now that he has won the Bundesliga, we should be forgetting the amount of big games that the guy doesn't step up in. The way that he doesn't step out, I don't know why he's dying.
That's like people are. That's why I was laughing. People are fool, man.
No, I'm watching.
Yeah, nah, this is something before because he messaged me about something, and I was thinking it was something serious, and it was something like, sorry, go on, carry on. I'll tell you off air what it is.
Okay, cool.
Jez, what you're saying is that people are like. People are changing their whole opinions on Harry Kane based off just winning this Bundesliga.
Yes, and this for me is ridiculous if you ask me personally.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
Because for me, especially for the standard of player that he is, people don't like for the amount of shortcomings that the guy had over his career. Some not his fault, some his fault in my opinion. For me, that we all of a sudden wanna becrone him as a player. We want to crown him as a player because he has not won the Bundesliga is crazy to me. There's so many players that have there's so many players that have done so much in their careers, just not only what they have in terms of their ability and individual accolades, but also help their teams winning on a consecutive basis. For me, and one of my friends used the perfect word, simpletons. The way there's a lot, the way feel.
Yeah, simple. People are simpletons, man. Legit.
People all of the sudden are happy to call Kane all the positive words that I would have called him years ago when he's still the same fucking player that he's literally from last week. Last week you wouldn't rate him because he hasn't had the one trophy. This week you want to rate him because he won the trophy. Like you want to rate him a bit differently because he won a trophy. And for me, it's like, so we're gonna forget that he jokes on a consistent basis for England. We want to show. We want to forget that he consistently chokes in the Champions League when it gets to a knockout stages, whether it's with Tottenham or Bayern. No, we want to forget all that. Also, everybody knows my biggest criticism of player, and everybody knows my opinion about Kane. I think he's a world class player. I think unlike other people, I think when guys like Benz, Lewandowski, Suarez was around, I think he wasn't that mix of players they generally look at and say top elite class striker. So for me, him winning the Bundesliga doesn't change my opinion all of a sudden that he 100% deserves to be there. No, I think he deserves to be there anyway. But my biggest criticism with this guy was, and why the lack of winning came, is because you couldn't step up for your team on a consistent basis when it came to the latter stages of a competition. Whether it was for England, whether it was for Spurs, or even last season for Bayern. Where was you when you was in the semi-final of a Champions League, bro? Where was you? You was getting locked up by a Rudiger who was bunked up already from injuries and all that. And Alaba, I think got the ACL at that point.
I thought last season. Sorry, Jazz. I thought last season we excused Kane for not winning a trophy because they knocked out Arsenal. I thought that was the excuse.
But I don't give a damn, to be honest. But
no, I'm joking.
So for me, it's like but for me, this was to close this out. Is my opinion is that I'm very happy for him winning his first major trophy, 100%. Like I'm like hater. I'm still Mutazo coming to the judge. Instead of having like footy talk instead, God talk instead conversation in the GC. The first thing that he saw when he saw the King tweet is not happy for Kane. He told me to hold that. Hold that for what? I'm happy for the guy winning a trophy. But that doesn't change that he's a big game joker. It doesn't change the fact. It doesn't change the fact that he let down Spurs, Bayern last season, and fucking England on a consistent basis. And you guys, you simpletons, are so easy to please because the guy. You guys are so easy to please because he won the Bundesliga. But nobody wants to hype up Eric Dyer because he won the Bundesliga. He also won the Bundesliga, but nobody wants to speak about Eric Dyer.
But
listen.
I think what it is.
Or Lisa.
I think what it is.
Yeah, but that's me. That's me though.
Because I'm someone who has rated Kane for time. I've been saying that he's world class. I think there was a certain point where he was probably the best striker in the world for like a 2 or 3 year period. And after summer 21, when we won the Champions League, he was the striker I wanted us to bring in, just based on the fact of we didn't have enough creators in our forward line.
Was that the summer you almost went to City?
Was this what?
Was that the summer you almost went to City? I think Kane.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, because he was someone to bring in that I knew as a forward you can also create chances for yourself, which none of our forwards could do for themselves or for others. But yeah, I think with Kane, a lot of it is just the fact of previously when he's been performing, and you try and put him in conversations or debate why he is world class, people will say, "Oh well, he hasn't done this and you haven't done that," and people will put other stupid players who aren't as good as him over him because they have a trophy. But now people are on the opposite end because he's now finally won a title. People are now doing way too much.
People going the opposite.
So it's you can't just be balanced and say he's always been a world class player and congratulations that you finally got something. Now let's see if you can pick up a few more. Now you're at the latter stages of your career. Can you win another trophy with Bayern? Can you maybe, God forbid, win something with England? Because if he's able to win the World Cup with England next summer, this whole thing of Kane not winning trophies or whatever, that's when you can then twist your legacy in the positive. Because as much as we can talk about what you've done, what you haven't, we all know football is based on what you do for me now. And if he wins it with England, then all of a sudden, like, no one can say that he's probably not England's greatest player, debatably, because he's done something the greats, barring 1966, haven't done. He'll be England's all-time goal scorer, etc.
You mean if they win the trophy?
The World Cup, yeah.
Yeah, if they win the World Cup, okay.
If he does that, then it's the thing of like that falls in Kane's favor, and then Kane will come back to the Prem, and then he'll break the goal scoring record in the Prem, and then he'll have that for England and in the Premier League, maybe the World Cup, and then all of a sudden that puts him in great stead in terms of his legacy and whatever. But I don't know, like, it is what it is. I'm happy for him.
No, that's right. No, that's right, because this is what I'm trying to say. Because I was saying that, and people was trying to say, Jess, you a hater. Why can you not just enjoy the moment? No, because it's like, I know how great this guy is. So for you guys to be happy for him because he has one major trophy in his career is crazy to me that you want to change the narrative about him. A player of his caliber should be,
and that's it. Just that's why I crushed on him so heavily, because I rate you so highly.
Exactly. Like, for me, this is a top player. For me, it's like, next season you should be aiming for a treble with Bayern next season. Really and truly, let's boost your legacy as possible. Win a champion, help Bayern win the Champions League. Help, like Brian said, help.
That ain't happening. I'm sorry.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I'm saying help your team.
I don't blame you.
No. I'm saying
the aim should be
for me. The aim. And this is what I'm saying. And they're not, because that for me, this is narrative changing. Like Prime said, winning the World Cup with England, you be leading them as the captain to the World Cup final and winning that. That's narrative changing. You simpletons who want to change the narrative just because you won one major trophy is insane. I saw Fabrizio may having an edit ready for Harry Kane with the Bundesliga trophy edited. You guys,
Jez, it's not just with Kane though. Football fans love to do this. Like when Messi won the World Cup, people were telling me he's now the GOAT. But when he lost that World Cup final in 2014, you were telling me he's still the GOAT regardless. Who cares? When Messi was losing Copa America finals and he hadn't won an international trophy, and Ronaldo won the Euros, people were telling me, who cares about the Euros? Who cares about international trophies? Messi's still the GOAT. Now he has a World Cup. This confirms football fans love to flip flop. They can't be consistent.
Bro, these niggas forget, bro, that Messi quit on his national team. And then he came back.
After the Copa America, the second Copa America lost to Chile. The one in America.
Ronaldo had to phone him, didn't he? Ronaldo spoke to him on the phone, telling him not to retire from international football.
Man got broke against Chile, you know.
Bro. And
twice.
Twice like Pep. But you know what, bro? To all you simpletons, you guys still believe Jamie Vardy is still a better player than Kane because Kane has a major trophy now. I'm saying this is what I'm trying to say, bro. These simpletons, because he hasn't won a major trophy, there are all these conversations. Trust me, I used to fight there in the trenches. Motherfuckers telling me that he's worse than Jamie Vardy because Jamie Vardy has a major trophy. Get the fuck out of here, man. Honestly, bro, this is what I'm trying to say. This is what I'm calling out the football hypocrites. I'm happy for Kane, and you can clearly tell that he's hella happy that he won a trophy in it. And for himself, that's a good thing. But don't let this one trophy be like, I finally did it. I finally made it. No. Aim for higher so you can put yourself in certain conversations, because one Bundesliga is not going to be enough.
Yeah.
Really, truly. It's just not.
Like you said. Go win a treble. Go win a quadruple. That's what you have to do.
It's another combo whether that will happen.
Go win the Champions League.
No. Like I said, I'm not saying you and Jez are more versed than me on whether it's going to happen. What I'm saying is that's the aim. You have to of course. Capable. So if you go win a treble one season and then you win a quad the next season, then a double, that puts you in a whole different conversation than if he just wins he wins 3 Bundesligas the next 3 seasons. So it's like, all right, you're supposed to do that. But the reason why I crashed on Harry Kane so heavily when he was at Spurs, I said it more often than not, when Spurs are going out of competitions, you are the best player on the pitch. Do what Bale did with Wales. Do what Bale did with Wales when they went to the Euros, getting them to a semi-final. He didn't win it. But look at that team. That team should be that team don't even make the tournament. He dragged them there.
Bro, if anyone remembers that Wales team, by the way, barring Bale, Ramsey, Joe Allen, Ashley Williams, and Ben Davis, and maybe another guy, Most of them were playing. Most of them were like playing championship, bro.
That
wasn't a good squad. It was not a good squad at all.
No, Hennessy was a goalkeeper, right?
Yeah,
like I said, that squad should be nowhere. They don't take him out. They are not making the tournament. So that's the point.
I don't even think they've been in a tournament since.
Yeah, because of Bale's quality. So it's not about winning it. It's about like with him. Because we see Mahrez and Kante do that with Leicester. Take them out outside.
By the way, Kane with Spurs, like, it's not even necessarily like the win thing. It's if you get knocked out, you being one of the best players in the world, you have to show that, you know what, I did what I could, but you know what? I played Son in 5 times and he missed 5 1-on-1s. There's nothing I could have done. That's what you have to do.
Yes.
Bale did everything and got knocked out in the semi-finals to Portugal. Bale did his job.
First, you know what you should do? Your stock should rise in a loss like Mbappe in the World Cup final. Yeah, none of us looked at Mbappe and went after that and went, hey, you could have done more. Now, should you have done better before you scored your goal? Yes, like your stock rolls in a loss. Because I was watching that game. You go check hey, Mbappe, you got to step up here. Mm-hmm. You have to do something. And guess what he did? He did that. So that's what, and if we're putting Kane in those brackets like Jez was talking about, then therefore you're held to them standards. Because I rate Kane very highly. This is why I crashed on him. I thought he got away with murder at Spurs. Because every time they won, it was all hail Harry Kane, this, that, and the third. But when they lost, it was it's Spursy, the team's bad. That don't work. You the best player on the pitch, stand out more often than not. You're both sides. The 22 players on the pitch, you are head and shoulders the best player on the pitch. Everyone would say you're the only world-class guy there. You're head and shoulders clear with everybody.
Can I address a comment? Can I address a comment to AK98_CB Freeman? But they'll never did it either for Spurs through though. Nobody has. Are you got their mind to even type that? Go through the team where Kane was in and tell me the team was able to compete. Do people forget we made the Champions League final without Kane? Do people forget that?
So Bale wasn't able to compete. That's what you mean, no?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, go through the team that Bale had.
Let's switch it. Take Kane out of that team that they was in when they was in the running and put Bale in there. Did they win that league?
Yes, we do.
You know what? I actually had this conversation.
Yes, we do.
With Alan a few years ago. Bale in when we won the league 16-17, or when Leicester won the league, or when we won the league again with Mourinho. Any of those 3 seasons, Bale in that Spurs team, they win it, bro.
The 100% he carries us that. Bro, throw in half.
The thing is the injuries,
bro. 15-16.
The thing is here. The thing is,
battle of the bridge. 2-0 up. 16-17. You guys don't bottle that. Bale's on that pitch,
bro. The goal that Hazard scored. This is the type of goal Bale would have scored in the first half, bro. This was the only part, and of course, Stephen was playing the obvious the point of Bale during the time he was going through his injuries, but we're talking about like the best. We're talking about the Tottenham version of Bale, who was
okay. So he didn't really have injury problems like that.
No. It was kind of later down the career where he started having the injuries. And for me, don't put Son on the left, half decent striker through the middle, and Bale. I think that's enough then to go and do it to win the league. And that doesn't mean, and that's the thing. That doesn't mean Kane is a horrible player. I told you guys before, Kane is a world-class player. But the lack of being able to change a game where you clearly can tell you was given everything on the pitch is lacking. People forget because he made the point that nobody has held Spurs winning anything at Spurs. Yeah, that's true. But in the same time, do people forget we made the Champions League final with Kane? The whole running, the guy was injured. We beat City, we beat Ajax, and we couldn't obviously win it at the end. Ironically, in the game when he came back, was looking like a tree out there.
Bro, all you have to say is there's a reason why Gareth Bale got a move to Real Madrid. Like,
yes,
and there's a reason why he got. Because why would Madrid want a Spurs player? Let's be real.
And then
they came in for money.
And you know what Bale did at Real Madrid? Elevated his game, got better. Because if the Bale we seen at Spurs wouldn't have quite at Real Madrid. As good as he was at Spurs, it's about elevating your game, and he wasn't the main man, but man was impactful. You know what I'm saying? Like man,
the guy used to be
and scoring in Champions League finals.
Well, consecutively as well. Not even just like one Champions League final, but consecutively. Like he's literally anti-Kane. I'm showing up in the big games. Like Real Madrid Real Madrid fans used to cuss him off because he doesn't step up necessarily in lower league games that they usually would have won anyway. But when the time comes for the Champions League, dude was always there. And what for me, I always say about Kane is just that for me, I just don't like the excuses that when people was trying to make for him. And I don't like how people trying to change their opinion about him. Like he was never this great player to begin with. But people forget there used to be a stud. The guy, every final that he was in for Spurs, he didn't have a shot on target.
See, and there's stuff like that.
There used to be a legit stud like that.
Wait, say that again, Judge?
It's stuff like that.
There used to be a stud at Spurs where every final that he was in, he hasn't had a single shot attempt on goal.
That's not true. That's not
on target. On target.
Yeah,
It's a legit
target. No, I've seen
a shot on target. Yeah.
Wait, so which finals? So he played in the Carabao Cup one in 14-15, your Champions League final, and then the Carabao Cup final when you had Jose.
And England.
And England as
well. No, we're talking about just specifically Spurs.
Three finals have not had
England. I think it was the same thing. Even
with
England.
No shot on target
for England as well. No ways.
Yeah, I heard it was for England.
I don't know about England. I can't guarantee, but it was
100%.
He missed a penalty in England for. Actually, wait. He missed a penalty for England. He skied it.
That was
no. When did he miss the penalty for England?
Oh wait, no, that was
France. That was against France.
Sorry, never mind. I'm thinking.
Was that the semi-final? Was it the quarterfinals?
No, it was the quarters against
France. Okay. What are you saying, Kineki? Hope you're blessed and everything, man. Hope the family.
Yo, all I got to say is, big up Liverpool. I'm not even gonna clown you guys. You see the vision. Yeah. Lose to Chelsea. Yeah. Then Chelsea win their next game. Beat Arsenal. Chelsea end up 1 point behind Arsenal. Newcastle draw or beat Arsenal. Immediately now, Manchester City and Chelsea now are second and third. And Arsenal, as you see by my name right here, end up fourth. They're literally challenged for the Arsene Wenger trophy. Arsenal might actually end this season with a trophy, The Arsene Wenger trophy. The fourth is a trophy. I made a joke early on this season. Yeah, that Ten Hag had 2 brain cells and they're fighting for third. But then Arsenal won up me. You're in a 2-horse title race and you might end up fourth. How?
When Leicester won the league.
Let me get to these. Yeah, sorry, go on, Prime. Say your point.
You remember the way Spurs got clowned for Leicester winning the league, Spurs being in a 2-horse race and finishing third, even though Spurs that season were never top of the league. If Arsenal this season, you finish fourth in a 2-horse race with allowing Man United to be top, and you've never been top this season at all, I don't know what I'll do, bro. But Kaneki will cook for the rest of the year.
Yes,
but by the way, before we go to Super Show, I just looked it up. He never had a shot on target in any final that he played in.
Even for England.
Even for England, no shot on target.
That's what I thought. Bro, what is he?
Hasn't he only played in one final though?
No, he played multiple times. I'm talking about between Spurs. I'm talking about between Spurs and England.
Kaneki, he's played in 3 finals for Spurs and then 2 finals for England.
Yeah.
No shots on target.
I don't care what team you're in. You're a world-class player as an attacker. That's unacceptable.
Wait. So you're telling me that Phil Jones has more shots on target in a final than Harry Kane? Is that what you're telling me? That Phil Jones has more shots on target in a final than Harry Kane?
I don't believe that because you can scam a shot on target, bro.
This is what I'm trying to say. No, but this one. This one trying to say.
If your name's Harold Kane.
No, because this is one of those stats where it's like I don't believe it's because when you tell me about those Garnacho Haaland stats where they haven't scored in like 20, that's not possible because you can scam a goal anywhere. The same way you can scam a shot on target.
So you're not. Hey, look at Rasmus Højlund and Alejandro Garnacho this season. It tells you all you need to know.
Rasmus scored against Bilbao, no?
No.
Or not Bilbao, the game before that?
Did he back against? Did he back?
He scored against
Victoria Pilsen.
No, Bournemouth at the end.
Did he? Oh, yeah, he did. Yeah, that was his first goal in 20. That was his first goal.
Yeah, but that's my point. You can scam a goal by doing something.
Yeah. After 20 games, definitely. So maybe Kane needs 20 finals for a shot on target.
No, 10 for sure on target, 24
Yeah,
goals.
maybe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and to anybody, and to everybody that is celebrating him winning the Bundesliga, the fam, that is literally like losing your V card at a brothel. Let's not do this. Let's
Hey,
not
man,
do
You know
this.
what, though?
At least
But
he
it
lost
counts.
it, man. At least he lost it, man.
You know what I'm saying? You lost, you might have had to pay for it, but it counts. It's not ideal, but hey.
It don't count. It don't
It
count.
counts, man.
It does,
It
bro.
don't count. When the
wait,
DPK, when the DPK poll call you fraud, do something. Don't come out here with the Bundesliga, bro. Don't go to Germany to win a trophy, bro. Especially Bayern Munich.
Neki, for certain man it counts. For certain people it counts, bro.
That being said, Steve, did they not go out to a lower league side in the poll call this season?
Yeah, fourth division team.
No, that was last season. This season,
Okay, who did
we
they lose
lost
to
to
this season?
Leverkusen at home.
Damn.
Then Leverkusen got knocked out by a third
Nathan
division
Teller
team, didn't
scored the
they?
game-winning goal in that game.
Did Kane play?
Yes, Kane played in the Council.
Yes, he played.
Yeah, he played last season against.
Wait,
say,
Steve,
this is
how long has Kane been out injured for?
Huh?
How long has Kane been out injured for?
Not long at all. He's missed like maybe 5 games this year. Maybe.
No. I mean, because he's injured now. So how long was?
No, he wasn't injured.
He was suspended.
How long has he been being suspended for?
It was just a yellow card accumulation.
Okay. So you guys won the league without him. Crazy.
None did it because they drew. They could have won the league.
Crazy. So
see,
you won it without him.
I'm with you. For Harry Kane, it counts, man. It counts. Let me get.
It's crazy.
Big up to Sky. He says Elliot Chiesa will be moved in the summer. Elliot won't suit slot system. Can't play 10 in the system, and he's not physical enough to play in the midfield. Big up for the super chat first and foremost side. Ryan will go to you since it's Liverpool related. Thoughts on this?
I agree. I've said this for months. Like, I've literally said it for months. Like, Harvey Elliott, yeah, good player, but at the end of the day, he will never, ever be a regular starter at Liverpool. Ever. He wasn't even that under Klopp, really. Like, the fact is, and I said this to you a few weeks ago, Flows, he isn't good when he starts. He's not good when he starts games. That's what people need to get in their heads. Yeah, he's great. He's a great impact sub. He suits that dynamics of the game where you come on as a sub to change the game. He suits that. But as a starter, he doesn't play well. He doesn't have the physicality to compete in. Honestly, he's on the ball, like, yeah, he's technically good, but he's not technically unbelievable or anything like that to compensate for his physical deficiencies. Like, you know, like how like Trent, for example, okay, it's a bit different, but like Trent offers so much going forward and on the ball that sometimes you can overlook his defensive issues. But Harvey Elliott isn't like unbelievably technically on the ball that you can overlook his physical like deficiencies in a game. Like, you just can't, like, he's not good enough at the end of the day. Like, I like him, you know, he's got a great attitude and stuff, but at the end of the day, Slot's ruthless. I've said this, Slot is one ruthless guy, and it's weird having this ruthless guy at the club.
I
And
told
had Klopp
you
for years.
I
You
told
were
you.
right, Klopp at the end of the day, Klopp was way too loyal to players, man. It was annoying. But like, Slot is ruthless, man. He don't give a shit who you are at the end of the day. Like, at the end of the day, he doesn't play Elliot and people have been getting on to Slot for ages. Or why is he not playing Elliot? Why is he not playing Elliot? You saw that, literally. That's why you don't play him. Literally,
You know?
Like, I know today was a game where, okay, fine, it don't matter. There was no pressure on the game. We've won the league. It was happy days, etc., etc. I didn't give a shit about the game. I'll be honest. But at the end of the day, Elliot got his chance at the end of the day, and I actually said this on Lewis's preview the other day on Friday, I think it was. There'll be some players who Slot will play, because Slot said he'd rotate for the game, he'd make changes, that are fighting for their futures at the end of the day. Likes of Elliot, and Elliot's a prime example of that. I think he'll leave in the summer personally, but he's fighting for his future because we all know he wants to stay. He's a Liverpool fan. He said he wants to stay at the club.
Man, carry on back in a sec.
But you want what I have to say about that? Ryan, don't mean to cut you.
He didn't do himself any favors today, Elliot.
I got Elliot wrong. I'm going to raise my hand. I got Elliot wrong. If you remember when I was talking about when you guys just signed Schlutt, when I said that Curtis Jones and Elliot would have been some faces in your team that might have outbreaking season. Curtis Jones is the only one that really stand on business. I got Elliot wrong. And that's something that surprised me because I had his potential higher than Lallana. Because I saw him like, you're going to come through on a Lallana thing, because that was what Klopp was trying to turn him into. But I said, you look more physical than Lallana. I didn't expect to see him crumble like this.
But
Now,
you know what?
to say he's going to sell him, though, Slot will do it. But I think in the next, 2 games you guys have left? Is it 2 or 3 games you guys have left?
3 games. 3 games.
3 games. Those 3 games are going to be what's going to save his career now. Because I still believe there is something there with Elliot. I'm not going to turn on him. I was wrong about it.
He's not a bad player at all.
No, I know you're not, but I'm trying to say he needs these 3 games now to try and save himself. It's sink or I said it before with Slot. It's sink or swim. Immediately, we already know the players at Liverpool that are out. We know Darwin Núñez is out.
Yeah, he's the first one gone, Núñez. He's
the first one gone. I know that Robertson probably might be out as well.
No, I think Robertson will stay, but as a backup. I think
as a backup.
Yeah.
Okay. That's actually that I wouldn't have a problem with that. But the players I told you before is Schlutt might look smiling and everything, but he's not. Don't take that smile for anything
he's
else.
Ruthless, man.
He is. If you are against what he's doing, he's getting you out immediately. And what I'm actually happy to hear, I don't trust your owner same way as you see now, Ryan. I don't trust your owners, but they're saying they're going to back him now.
You see, I agree. The reason why I think he will get players in. I think he will get back. But the main reason why I've always been confident we will get players is because a lot of players will go this summer. So you have to replace those players naturally at the end of the day. That's why I've always been very confident that Liverpool will make signings because players.
What tier players though? What tier players though? Because I'm saying what tier players because a lot of your first tier players, that are your main, the Alissons, the Salahs, and these guys now. The players that you're losing and what you're going to replace. If you lose a first to second tier player now, that's more difficult to replace than a third and fourth tier. Like with Newcastle, when they got rid of St. Maximin, they replaced him with Gordon.
Yeah.
They got rid of a third tier player and replaced him with a first tier player. That's why I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
So
I hear you. No, I agree.
I don't trust your owners with that case because more than likely, how your owners really do a hit and hope thing because no one here, even me, can say when you signed Salah from Roma that he would turn into this. No one could say that, Salah was going to turn into this.
Yeah. He's their best Premier League player.
Yeah. When you guys signed Alisson and Van Dijk, remember, no one could have predicted them at actually doing this, what they're doing right now. Because even when Alisson was at Roma, he wasn't this good.
Yeah, he'd had one season. He'd had one season at Roma, I remember.
Yeah,
but I remember
one season, yeah.
But it was back then when Edwards was sporting director and we had the nerds in charge. The nerds, like, their transfer success rate was very good. It was only when Klopp ended up going on a power trip that it basically forced all the other sporting directors out, forced Edwards out, forced Julian Ward out.
I heard Lex say this.
Klopp got power of all the transfers and screwed it up. But for example, Núñez is the biggest example. That was Klopp's move. That was Klopp. The recruitment team didn't want Núñez, but Klopp was the one who pushed that move. So when Klopp got control of the transfers, that's when our recruitment, a lot of it went down. But when it was under Edwards and the nerds, it was actually quite good. It was actually really good, our transfer.
Yeah, because didn't he sign that what was that centre back you guys signed? And no, we haven't heard from him since.
Ozan Kabak.
Yeah, Kabak. Like that was one of the worst things I've ever seen Liverpool do.
That was a couple of weird panic buys because we got all of our centre backs injured. I remember in a January.
Ryan, who did so Klopp wanted Núñez, and you said your scouting team didn't want him, right? Do you know who they wanted instead?
It was in Nkunku or Isak, I think.
It was Isak or Schick. It was Isak or Schick. It wasn't Nkunku. Yeah, it was Schick or Isak.
Isak was
Isak.
Yeah, because when I was talking about Isak, Ryan was in the chat and he asked me about him because Liverpool was linked with him. This is when he was at Sociedad, mind you. This is when I was just starting to become like a part of this channel.
Yeah.
Fan calling, and Ryan asked, "What do you think of Isak? Liverpool are linked with him." And I said, if Liverpool get him, that's a big problem for everyone in the league because now they have someone to put the ball to in the box. But it was Patrick Schick or Isak because at that time Liverpool were looking for a target man, for Robertson and Trent crosses to go to people that are superior in the air. So the two names that picked out at the time was Patrick Schick and Isak. But Isak at that time associated was a risk. What was his season that year? Wasn't it like 13 goals?
Yeah,
at the time?
Yeah, something
So,
like
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're recruiting. They're recruiting. You brought Lex was the one that brought this up to me that Klopp ruined a lot of your seasons.
Bro, I said Klopp held us back last 2 years. I've said that, and people like when I say that, people get onto me, but I stand by. Klopp held us back last 2 years. I will since we lost out on the quadruple, Klopp held us back literally.
It's emotions, Ryan. You know that you have a lot of the fan bases are. Like Klopp won you your first league title and Champions League. Yeah,
from the fan base.
But don't let that mask success. Don't let that mask success. He's cost you. Stand firm and said, yeah, he won us this, but because of his negligence, we could have won more. Because I'm not going to sit here and act like you guys couldn't have literally three-peated the league. Like, you don't lose the league by 1 point 2 years in a row. I'm sorry, that doesn't
for me
happen.
with Klopp. It's more the last 2 years. So the season we finished 5th and we fell apart in 22-23. That was on him.
You were blaming him that season hard as well.
Yeah, he almost left that season. He almost left literally. And last season I put a lot of it on him because for the way we didn't win the league last season and we fell off. But I actually thought we were shit the whole season last season, to be honest with you. I hated the way we played football last season, I'll be honest with you, Klopp.
You know how I talked to you about Klopp? Tactically.
Yeah, I know. I agree. Klopp's way great tactically than Klopp.
But you always used to argue me when I said he's not a tactician.
No, I said that I think he wasn't like a terrible tactician, but I never said he was a great tactician.
No.
I always said Tuchel was a better tactician than him.
Tuchel is because, as I said before, Klopp ideal is this.
Before we even again, fuck Tuchel. Fuck that guy. I hate him.
No one actually likes Tuchel. I'm sorry. Fam, you need to understand this. My hatred for Tuchel stands from the fact that we played against them in the Champions League, and this man had Dani Alves at right wing. All right, Tuchel, that man has been a terrorist since. You played Manchester United and had Dani Alves as a right winger against us. You are evil.
The PSG team. We'll play it in a sec because Kaneki's here. The PSG team United knocked out. That was Tuchel's team, right?
Yes, it was. Yeah,
okay.
You know, like how you hear everybody talking about how PSG double team Arsenal. Yeah, there were 5 players on Pogba. Remember, they did everything to get him sent off. Verratti, Idrissa Gana Gueye, Danilo Pereira, Dani Alves, Marquinhos. Bro, Marquinhos was playing at DM against us. Remember that? Marquinhos was playing DM against us.
Kaneki, that was second leg, right? Where they were going.
No, it was the first leg. The first leg was when he got sent off. That whole game, PSG just swarmed everyone around Pogba to get him sent off the pitch.
But yeah,
Pogba took the ball from everybody. They just fell to the ground, bro. It was peak.
I wanna play this.
I've seen this clip.
This is mainly for Kaneki, and actually, it's Jez here.
Why?
It's Jez here.
Like I'm here.
Like your office,
fuck's sake. Nah, fuck's sake, Jez. Okay. Yeah, Kaneki.
What?
Enjoy this, Kaneki, because this is gonna be fun.
The idea that all the forwards in the 90s and the 2000s that were quote-unquote elite names were top footballers is a myth. You only watch these guys on some of the biggest stages, right? You didn't watch them week on week. You didn't watch them on their bad days. People talk about Del Piero, like, Del Piero lost his shirt to Ibrahimovic and Trezeguet.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Even at Euro 2000, he lost it to Super Mario. Mario Del Vecchio benched him in that tournament. What are you saying? You understand? Inzaghi was not great consistently. People talk about Inzaghi was banging 30 goals every season. He wasn't. Standard of strikers at the time, if you bang 15 goals in a season, you are probably a good striker. I get it. But Inzaghi didn't even bang 15 every season. Romelu Lukaku is a great striker. Do you understand?
Lock it off.
Even though if you put Lukaku,
He looks like Lukaku
better
as well.
forward than Filippo Inzaghi. I can say it anyway.
Lock it off, bro.
You cannot tell me Raul was not a proper striker.
Prime.
Bro, I don't
Prime.
think a striker like Raul will be world class in this.
Prime.
You know, part of the reasons why those guys are benefited more because nobody was crunching numbers as much as they. Do you understand?
Now,
those niggas are so lucky. People are
testing.
going to look you in the eye and tell you that Didier Drogba was great throughout his time at Chelsea. No, he wasn't. But bro, in the first 2 seasons of Drogba, he was mid. He was mid. This is the most skilled generation in the history.
If that was
And skill level is only going to get
Bro.
better. You know why?
Bro.
Because this generation of footballers are a result of whatever exists.
I don't want to.
Football.
Prime.
Strikers then are actually
Prime.
for me. They are more. These strikers are
Prime.
more efficient.
Prime.
They are well-rounded.
Prime.
They had everything people were looking at. They had the aesthetics.
Right.
They had goals, and they had.
Do
the
you
moments.
like when I
It's not
sound
about
like
the goals.
Uncle Ruckus
Like they had the
Prime?
moments.
You said something the other time that players efficiency.
Prime.
The optimization now is for efficiency.
Yeah.
You might not
Prime.
need to be able to do anything else.
Alan cannot dribble my producer, but when it comes to banging in goals, he knows how to do
But
that.
also, the
Prime.
point I'm trying to make is
One sec.
forwards of this era are massively underrated. Forwards of the past are massively overrated.
Prime.
Here's what I say to that just quickly because we know what it is. In regards to the only thing I do agree on when he spoke about numbers being crunched heavily in today's day and age, which is correct. But to use the fact that Del Piero got benched by Del Vecchio, like Del Vecchio was a scrub, is crazy work.
He lost his shirt to Ibrahimovic. 40 goals. Ibrahimovic.
Yeah.
I just want to say
Trezeguet, World Cup winning.
I didn't want to do this with Jez here because Jez is going to be Jez, but fair enough. Listen, when I first saw this, bro, I've had this in the chamber for a while. When I first saw this, I was like, the next Q&A with Kaneki, I'll be there.
I've seen that clip pop up.
Do you enjoy when I sound like Uncle Ruckus? Is that what you want?
Yeah.
Do you want me to start talking about these blacks?
You man, I gotta get through these super chats. And
Get to the super chat because I know you have the Bayesian show coming up.
Yeah. That's
Hey,
the
hold
show
that,
after.
Kaneki, man.
In regards to it, the only thing I do agree with him on in regards to that clip is that numbers weren't crunched back then as they are now. All you have to do go back and watch because there's people who watch these players week in, week out.
Lukaku is even better than Vieri. How dare you do that with Inzaghi?
Lukaku's better than Inzaghi, man. Lukaku's better than Inzaghi. Yeah.
Like talking about Inzaghi. The crazy part is Inzaghi is a better. They're the same profile, and Inzaghi is a better version. That's the craziest part because Inzaghi was a terrible footballer too. But hey, we move.
He was
can't dribble, can't run. That brother was the king of tapping.
Inzaghi one of the worst.
The king of tapping, fam. That man couldn't run to save his life. Couldn't dribble for love or money.
He was. Hey, you're up to Surfel, man. You know what I'm saying? Who says we are 15th, sir? We are 15th.
We're 15th. It's on the. We're 15th. We are 15th, sir.
Yeah, 100%. You're right, man. We are 15th.
Hey!
Big up, sir. Big up, Surfel. Yo, that is one of my favorite clips. Let me read that.
We're fucking 15th. It's on the. We're 15th. We are 15th, sir.
Big up troops, big up facts in the cut as well. Hey, Surafel, big up for the super chat. Appreciate it as well. Sai, big up for the second super chat. Also says, bring me Jaren Jackson Jr. Grizzlies receive AR-15, $14 million. Hachimura, $18 million. Connect 4. How dare you be trying to trade Westside Connect 4? 2021 first round pick, 26, 28 pick swaps. Go on, just say what you're gonna say before we get.
I don't vote. Batman disrespecting Connect like that, bro. But what's it called? But look, you gotta hate what I'm saying this, but I think JJJ is fucking ass. I tell you, I don't think he's ass, but I don't think he's that good. I just don't think he's that good. And I think the Lakers would need to add more athleticism to the team on top of the I think one of the two biggest issues the Lakers have is the fact that when you're trying to go and run a Luka and AR line and starting lineup, yes, from an offensive standpoint, like we saw in the playoffs, they're gonna get buckets of LeBron, but defensively you're getting cooked. But in the same, and also we have to talk about many times about the big thing, but the big man issue as well. But I think what also which a lot of people don't talk about is I think the Lakers rotation is horrible. From 1 to 8, outside maybe Luka AR when he's on it, and LeBron, who are really like these consistent players. Okay, but who are the consistent players who you trust in the Lakers rotation. So I feel like yes, you can make that trade, but I think the Lakers would need so much more. I don't think a Jaren Jackson, LeBron, Luka team, and then looking what the rest of the Lakers look like is enough in it. But that's just my quick opinion in it.
That's
that's what you wanted to say.
Hey, we'll go to we'll go to you. I don't know what he's doing. Facts. Floor's yours, man. Hey, don't go anywhere. Where you going, Facts? Mr. Lakers in 5, Mr. Lakers in 6, Mr. Lakers in 7, Mr. 1, 2, 3 Cancun. This guy has now disappeared. Joke, man. There he is. He back. Yeah, you. Grab your microphone, mate.
KFC, BLT, RTC, Lakers in 5.
Lakers in 5. I feel like this is a clickbait question, and you're just making the headlines. Next question, please.
I said it's a clickbait. Are you what's his face? Are you JJ Reddit? You know what I'm saying? Clickbait question. All right, let me ask you. Who do you want to get rid of from the Lakers? Who would you get rid of?
I'll get rid of Reeves. I'll get rid of Hachimura. And give me Nick Claxton.
So you get rid of Reeves, you get rid of Hachimura. Anyone else?
Shake Milton.
Shit, I forgot about Shake Milton. Is he still there?
Yep.
Yeah, it's still there. He didn't even play a minute. I told you the Lakers rotation is ass. Bro,
the Lakers rotation was horrible. It was horrible. It really was. It really was. So yeah, we ain't spoken depth, man. Thoughts on going out in 5 Facts? Because we haven't actually spoken.
Do you know what?
What went wrong in the series, man? Talk to us.
Besides everything.
Yeah, besides everything. We want details like
you know what? I'm not gonna get into detail. I think we've been outplayed by a better team. It's as simple as that.
Is there anything you could have done better?
Not really, just because we haven't got a proper center. I don't think JJ crossed enough on Jackson Hayes to be that starting center. He's more of a rotation player. I don't think he's a starter.
I have something to say about JJ as a coach, but
go on, then.
Maybe for the play. You got time. You got time.
Yeah, Facts is in his politician.
Because I feel like a lot of people, and I think it's rightfully so, give a lot of attention to the roster, but people don't speak about JJ's inexperience costing the Lakers as well. How you letting LeBron last in the game prior to the game 5? How you letting these guys play on all the minutes in the second half without trying to rest them and give them, even if it's like 2-3 minutes. Yes, you maybe sacrifice a couple of times. I feel like,
what's going on?
I don't give a fuck. You're the Lakers, bro. It's like Man City. I don't care if it's your first job. Dude, what the fuck, bro? You sound like an Arsenal fan, bro. Like I tell you shit.
Man,
bro, I don't give a damn that we don't give a damn, bro. I don't give a damn that it's your first or your 30th year in the league, bro. You do not give a 40-year-old man, Luka, who we all know is not the most defensively best player, same as Reeves, same as Hachimura, trying to play.
Yes, he need a bench.
Whoa. Hold on. Let me speak. He didn't play the bench, bro, in the game 4, and you can see how effective it in game 5. Game 5. The only game when Rudy Gobert actually went off, Jackson Hayes didn't play. I don't give a damn that you don't trust Jackson Hayes. You play him. You give him some minutes. You cannot. There's not a good enough reason to bring Maxi Kleber back in his first game of this season. To go up in a playoffs game where the intensity is at a high level and teams been used to the pacing.
Man, to the Lakers were out here with a war veteran up top, bro. Like, come on, bro.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. I understand the reason for the roster, and I heard the roster. I was talking about the roster a long time ago, so it's not newsflash. But the way some of the Lakers fans trying to dodge the whole JJ conversation is crazy. Shout out to the Lakers fans that do talk about it, because JJ shouldn't be let out of the conversation. And we know what the Lakers are. At the Lakers, there's no time.
This is about look at the team, bro. We sacrificed AD for Luka. That's our future. What are you on about?
Fuck, you sound like an Arsenal fan, bro. You sound like bro. What the fuck does that mean, bro? I don't give a damn. You think when ever in the Lakers history have they ever given somebody time? Lakers was the Lakers coaches back in the day when the was fucking running Lonzo Ball, Julius Randle, and BI was getting crucified. You think JJ is gonna get away with the criticism? Hell no. Kobe, when the guy was 40 years old, multiple ACL issues with an old ass Steve Nash and a washed Dwight Howard or whatever the big men were. You think Lakers coaches was getting still slandered, bro. So you think JJ can just get away from the criticism? Hell no. But you wanted to hype him up you wanted to say the next Phil Jackson because he said, what the fuck is going on? Like every coach says stuff. Bro, like Darvin Ham was getting crucified for putting his hands in the pockets and saying salute at halftime. He got further. Just saying. And this is not even trying to say Darvin Ham is better than JJ Redick. I think JJ Redick did a great job considering. I think Lakers overachieved this season. But the fact that you're trying to sit here and try to tell me that JJ shouldn't be criticized the spot is crazy to me. Both things can be right. The roster's ass, but JJ needs to take responsibility for game 4 and 5, in my opinion.
He needs to do better. Well, I think that's fair.
I just want to know from Fator, why did he think he was going to win the series if we knew all these things? If supposedly he thought that the Lakers weren't as good as the Timberwolves.
I have the answer. The same way Fator thought that Ireland would qualify top of our Euros group in the group with France and Holland.
Netherlands.
Because of a woman.
Respectfully, don't compare
the Lakers. His Lakers thing ain't nothing to do with it. That's just because he supports you lot. And he just not you lot.
No, but I'm genuinely I'm wondering like why Fator thought he was gonna win it in 5. Then like you said the whole time.
Because of the Luka factor, that's why. That's why
the Luka factor.
He got
the Luka factor.
Maybe he's just not what you think he is.
He got.
Does he think Luka is Does he think Luka is the Joker?
Bro, this is one, bro. Bro, you making me so.
I hope Kobe shows up in that guy's dream and just fights him. That's what I want. I want Kobe.
Here's what it is. It's because of the construction. Like they got gas. It sounds great. Obviously, we all know Luka's a top quality player without doubt. But there's things that he lacks that you need around him. In regards to the fact he's a corner,
and they don't have it. They don't have it.
So why did people? What's the football equivalent to Luka?
Because we overlooked it. This is like a player who. This is like let's say a quality central midfielder who's great on the ball, can facilitate, can create, can score goals, but he needs athleticism around him. That's
Kevin De Bruyne. That's a good example for Luka. Kevin De Bruyne.
No. I have a better example. He's Enzo Fernandez.
Well, better.
He's a better version.
But you know what? He's a better version. Yeah.
Well, Steve, you know what? Because you was asking the question. Oh, Lakers fans that were getting gaslighted into thinking they can get to the final. I like Arsenal fans, bro. Ironically, that's sold the Kool-Aid. It's the same shit. It's the same shit. This is what I'm trying to say. And obviously, to Sai, I literally said 2 things can be right. JJ should be taking responsibility for the fact that he fucked up for game 4 and 5, in my opinion, by tiring not only these Lakers players into game 5, but also then trying to line up that you did for game 4 in the second half for not winning the game if you're going to let all of these guys play minutes. It's like you already capitulating. You're already telling the team, I don't trust you, the rest lot. What's the point? Because then psychologically, you tell the other players, okay, what's the point even trying anymore if you don't trust me as a player? This is not what you do as a coach. And I don't care if it's JJ's first season as a coach, man. Compared to other coaches in the league, he got the job from a podcast. I don't give a damn.
Man, he got the job from a podcast.
It's his first job.
This is Phil's job, and he got it because
Fatter. If everything I'm thinking is true, you really are Arsenal fans. You're defending Arteta.
This is what I'm trying to say, Prime. Right. And Kaneki is laughing because the truth. The guy got the job because he was on the podcast with LeBron.
And how long has he been in the job for?
This season is his first season.
So he didn't even win his FA Cup, man. Crazy.
No.
Well, technically he did because they won the in-season.
That was Darvin Ham.
It was
Darvin Ham. It was Darvin Ham. It wasn't JJ.
Flawless. We've been told that it takes time and he needs to be there 8 years. So So long as there's progression, it's fine.
Oh, hey, but even with the progression, to my man, I wish he was in the chat. If Arsenal don't finish second,
No, he was there. He was in the chat. When I joined, he was in the chat.
Yeah.
Wait, what
But
happened?
he didn't say nothing about Arteta.
Nah, he was trying to get onto me by saying, "Are you still defending Maresca?" All right, bro.
Yeah, but I want to know if Arteta doesn't finish second, is that still progression? So we had someone in the chat who were talking about how Arteta deserves time. It's wrong people at Arteta out. So I asked the question, how many more years do you give him? And he said 3. So I said, we're giving him 8 years to win a Champions League or a Premier League. And he said, because they've improved year upon year. So if they finish 3rd or 4th or 5th, is that improvement in terms of league
Arsenal has improved. Arsenal has improved.
Yeah. In terms of league position, yes, they've improved. In terms of league
Bro,
position,
they're
yeah.
closer to 7th than they are 1st. What do you mean?
But they've improved in regards to league position. They
Improve at what?
Twice.
They're about to, bro. They're about to finish. They're about to finish 5th.
It's come back to what I said. It's simpletons.
Yeah. They've improved.
But Flawless, if they drop out of second,
yes,
you have to look at context. If they finish 3rd, but they reach the Champions League final, that is progression. It is progression.
So. If they don't,
bro,
win it, yeah, you might look at it like that. I don't know.
But they reached the final, though. It'll be the second time in their history they've reached the final. So it is progression.
You might look at it go as progression in Europe, but then it's regression in the league.
Yeah, it's going to be progression because if they reach the final, that means that they're finally beaten Pate Borisov in the same amount of finals in their club history.
I wish you were in the chat. Hey,
Partizan Belgrade has reached 1 Champions League final in their club history. Arsenal has reached 1 final in their club history.
No. Let's speak to Borisov have reached 2.
No, Partizan Belgrade. Partizan Belgrade is what I said.
No, but you said Borisov reached 2, right?
No, Borisov are bigger than Arsenal, bro. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about Partizan Belgrade. Mixed up in name.
All right.
Bro, I'm not listening to these guys. These men are out here disgracing.
I genuinely want to know, though, because he said about progression. So if they don't win the champs and they go out in the semi-final and they don't finish second after finishing second twice, is that improvement?
Yes.
That's progression, right?
That is improvement.
So then should he be sacked? Because that's the thing keeping him in the job. Hey,
by that logic, it is improvement. It is improvement.
This is why I speak about football simpletons in the sports, bro.
Yeah, like because it's crazy that the craziest part to me was the 8 years. That was the maddest part. I said 8 years, you know.
No, but it's flawless. It has to be because remember, Arsenal, they're a goal down. If they go to Paris, a hostile environment, and they make a comeback and win, that's improvement. It has to be
in Europe. Yes, 100%.
Yeah,
in Europe,
it has to be improvement. Yeah,
but if
and again. Yeah, but context, injuries, that's why they didn't finish second, bro. Come on, Flo. Be fair.
Really? Injury?
Hey, you know what we're going to do? Hey, give Arteta. I think he needs more than 8 years, man. I think you extend.
I think at least 25.
Listen, all I have to say to Arsenal is this. All I have to say is Arsenal is this. Ospina is working on his coaching badges. Yeah, trust the process. Yeah. Ospina is working. Yeah, Ospina is working on his coaching badges.
Ospina. There's a group chat I'm in, right? That has like we'll never admit this, but he is an Arteta inner. He's like, diehard Arsenal, all of that. There was this list put in the chat about Arsenal managers to replace Arteta or whatever, and this guy says he wants Xavi over Inzaghi.
Which Xavi?
Xavi Hernandez.
Ana Hernandez. Yeah. I'm not Hernandez yet, but I must Xavi Federico from the freaking 3rd division.
No, and he also said,
division, bro.
He also said, ideally, I'll take Jack Wilshere.
Yes.
Hey, he's doing his budget.
True. Get Jack Wilshere.
I see the vision, man.
I
see the vision too, bro.
Yo, per Mertesacker. Listen to the vision, yeah. Per Mertesacker, bro.
Can I guess who's also doing the badges?
Start out their first job.
Can I guess who's also doing the badges? Yes.
Who? Mustafi.
Who?
Ospina, El Neni, per Mertesacker. We're getting the boys back together, bro. All we need now is just Yaya Sonogo.
Get the band. 3 more years, 8 years to win a major. Hey man, you know what, Fez?
Hey, no, you guys are all laughing because you're no, it's not, Steve. You're just afraid of the Arsenal domination, bro.
Oh yeah,
So
sorry.
Arsenal are just 8 years away from dominating football. You don't see it.
Yeah. No, maybe like 12.
Yeah, all we need is Saka to
Great
retire.
Depression might happen, Prime. We have to.
Once Saka retires, Arsenal are going to dominate, bro. Watch.
Yeah, that left back. Yeah.
Got back super duper Mick, man.
Facts, man.
But hey, before we continue, run up the likes, people. We're closing out in the next 5 to 10 minutes or show. Also, that Liverpool podcast. Make sure you hit the
Am
like
I
button.
wrong?
Pay the tax, people.
Yes, you're wrong.
Because we're only at 55 likes and there's still over 140 of you lot in the building. Let's get up to 90 likes. Hit that like button, subscribe if you are indeed new. Like I said, we're going to be redirecting to the Liverpool podcast Barbados edition shortly. Final few questions. Yeah, go.
Flawless. I do not respect Prime disrespecting Maguire right now. Look at what he did on the wing and put him in an Arsenal shirt and tell me that's not Declan Rice.
Listen, I rate Declan Rice, bro, highly. But when you say Maguire,
look at that Arsenal, look at that performance from Harry Maguire on the right. Put him in an Arsenal shirt and tell me that's not Declan Rice.
Did you see that? Did you see that tweet? The Rice tweet from the Bournemouth game.
I didn't know. What was the stats?
It was free forward passes in the whole game. One was successful.
Yeah, but we know what Rice is and what he isn't.
Yeah, centre back.
He's not a centre back. He's not a centre back. He's just a ball winner.
He's a centre back.
Not a centre back.
You go hand in hand. Centre backs are
ball winner.
Exactly. You know who's also a ball winner? A centre back.
I've been watching Rice since he broke through at West Ham. Because back then,
I watch Rice every time when we put it on the stove.
I know. Hold on. Back then, he was Irish, so he was the hope for my country.
Yeah.
I know what Rice is and what he isn't.
Yeah, centre back.
Flawless, fuck off, man. Kaneki, fuck off. He's not you, Kaneki. He's not a centre back. He's just a ball winner, bro.
Yeah, like a centre back.
But blame me, you know. See where his mind went.
To be fair to Prime, he's not a centre back. He's a third centre back in the back three.
Yeah, he's the right-sided centre back in the back three. Oh, he could
he's not. Look, listen. I know what Rice is and what isn't. He's not a technical player. He shouldn't. The fact that
he's a centre back, not technical. Yeah. Okay, centre back.
Okay, centre back. Fine, centre back. The fact that he's in charge of Arsenal's creativity is on Arteta, not on Rice.
Passing forward is unacceptable, though. I'm sorry, man.
I hear it, but he shouldn't. I hear it, but it's also due to their system.
Okay, but Prime. Can I tell you something now? Guess who's also a ball winner? Doesn't have any type of technical ability, very bad at passing forward, and always has a lot of concentration. Maguire. What can Declan Rice do over Maguire? Run. Maguire with an engine. Am I wrong?
Maguire doesn't have an engine. He can't run.
And that's why Declan Rice is considered Maguire with an engine. Am I wrong? They both can't dribble. They're both horrible at going forward.
Is it terrible to say Maguire's a better switcher of the play than Rice?
No, but
Maguire is a better passer.
Yeah, but no. Rice is better at switching play. We're not doing.
Oh, he's the Irish Bostonian. Irish limitation.
Okay, listen. I don't know. Maybe maybe people can say I'm being a bit biased because I've watched him for so long and actually rate Rice. However,
no, you're just trying to prove me wrong and you're failing.
No. I'm not proving you wrong. Listen. Rice is, regardless if he's at Arsenal, he's still my guy. But I'll just say this: Arteta's not using him properly. He was used a lot. Oh no, Tonali's better. I'm not done.
Right, cool.
Bro, he's literally a mashed potato version of David Luiz. That's what he is. Yeah, he's the Irish potato version of David Luiz.
No,
that's what Declan Rice
you're disrespecting David Luiz by comparing him with Rice.
Why? They're both idiots.
You're disrespect. What David Luiz can do, what football Rice could never.
Okay, so let me see. They both score free kicks. They're both crap in the midfield.
Rice is not a ball. Rice cannot play on the ball like David Luiz. What are we doing?
Have you seen David? You're right. You know, my fault. I'm comparing the David Luiz at Arsenal. That's what I'm doing. I apologize. I apologize. You know, David Luiz at Arsenal is actually the same version. Yeah.
Listen, all I'll say is this, right? All I'll say is this. if Declan Rice was still Irish, Arsenal would not have paid that money to sign him, and people wouldn't be slandering, and people wouldn't be slandering Rice as much as all I'll say.
Now I'll still be slandering him.
You know what it is?
No, you would, but I mean,
Prime, you know what it is? It's because he's being put into a conversation that he should not be. I've said this about Rice. I think he's a good player. I think at his best, he's a very good player. I think he's been a very good signing for Arsenal. I think he can contribute to them going forward, being successful. However, he's not worth 100 million.
Yeah.
That's been my MO from the start.
All right, here's a question. Is he worth 100 million to Arsenal?
To Arsenal, he's to Arsenal. Hold on. I agree he's not worth the 100 mil, but I don't think any player really is worth 100 mil. However, to Arsenal, for Arsenal, he is. For what they bought him, they bought not just like a defensive or a centre back, according to Kaneki. They bought like they bought a captain back.
It's with an S.
Yeah,
say it correctly, bro.
Say with an S.
Centre back.
You know, C. It's with an S.
I know, but I don't want to say it and laugh. I'm trying to. They
Maguire with that
out my face, Maguire with that engine, bro. Phil Jones with wheels. Phil Jones with wheels, bro.
All right. What they they also bought.
I'm not gonna lie. I do think Maguire is a better switcher of the play. I'm not even bullshit.
What they bought also was just not again buying from a rival in West Ham or a London rival in West Ham. Who just won a trophy.
West Ham ain't rivals. West Ham have European heritage. Don't do that.
No, we're talking London rival. They just won a trophy. He is their captain. He's also an English player, English international. That adds in the tax to make it up to 100 mil. When in reality, like probably should be like I don't know, 50, 60.
Yeah.
Before we end, I want to get Grant from Craig.
What Arsenal fans do putting him in conversations he should not be in. He is nowhere near a Vitinha. He's nowhere near.
No, of course he's not. He's not a Vitinha.
No, but that's my point. If we're talking 100 million pound midfielders, they're the caliber, and most midfielders.
You would pay 100 mil for.
But the thing is, right? I know what Rice is. He's a ball winner, and he's the same ball winner he was at West Ham. He's the same. Like that's why when Troops was talking, I'm back again. It was annoying me because when I was saying what I'm saying now is the same stuff I said when he was at West Ham. He's a world-class ball winner, but everything else in terms of like maybe playing on a half turn or controlling from deep, he does not do. But in terms of being able to win the ball and give it to someone else who can play on the ball, he's brilliant at that. People were telling me he's not that good. And now he's at Arsenal, he has to be put on this big pedestal, when in reality, he's the same player. He's the same player.
You know what? Just to give Grant some grace, because obviously the ironic part is that it kind of sounds similar to Bellingham. What's it called? It's ironic to the same part in terms of like how Kane? I was thinking about Prime. Not Kane. From a Jew perspective, and then how like where I agree with Flores because of the club that you add certain conversation, you just have to deal with the criticism that comes with them with it. Then if you don't succeed, like for example this season. But I do want to say about Rice though. Well, I'll be honest. Like non-football manager, you know the libero role. Where you are center, you are a centre back, but in possession you drop into the midfield. That's Declan Rice right there.
He's an inverted centre back. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, probably invert into the centre back. You know, moves into the.
He's not. No.
I'll take the piss.
If you're a libero, that's what liberos do.
I just look at Rice as like, for example, you know, Enzo at Chelsea, right? You know how I've been saying this season when if you give Enzo bodyguards around him, so Caicedo, Lavia to protect him, he can ball out. Rice is a bodyguard for a player like Enzo.
He's basically a henchman,
the ball winner. And if you have a ball winner, and you just I don't know. I'm trying to be serious.
Right. You telling me that Arsenal bought 100 million intrinsic gain
for a bodyguard.
But again, no.
Intrinsic gain does.
No, but here's the thing, Jez. Here's the thing, Jez. Right? I agree that Arsenal could have bought a player for cheaper. You could have bought that for cheaper. I agree with that. But when you buy someone like Rice, that's why
who was getting benched by Calvin Phillips.
No, but that's why it has to add up to 100 mil because you're buying because all the things that come with
I know, but see, the issues.
Go on, Jez. Last point.
This the issue, though. Yeah, but this is the issue, though. I heard that. You don't give no praise. You what? At the end of the day, what? At the end of the day, you seen 100 mil, and all I'm seeing is you telling me this is 100 million version of Idrissa Gueye.
I know, but Jez, that's why I keep saying. If Rice was still Irish, you're not spending 50 mil on him.
Man,
really, I agree, but two things can be right.
Yo, man is really the beans and mash Idrissa Gueye, you know. That is
bro, he's not only the beans and mash, he's literally a poor man Daily Blind. That's what he is.
Yo, man is Idrissa Gueye, you know.
Again,
you're a poor man Daily Blind, bro.
You're disrespecting Daily Blind because
that's why I said a poor man. Yo, the Timu Daily Blind, bro.
Rice can't play on the ball like Dale Blind.
You're right. Oh, you're right. The Alibaba Kurt Zuma then.
All right, we gotta close out that bombshell.
What are we doing?
Big up to everyone that's
you know what? That's my fault. This is my fault. I know the crowd. It's the wrong crowd.
Yeah, you gotta know what crowd you're playing
for.
Yeah,
my bad.
What it is. Yeah. So big up, love to everyone that has locked in. Make sure you run up the likes, hit the subscribe button on the channel. We're going over. It's already gone live. Manchester United Liverpool podcast Barbados edition. Before you leave though, run up the likes, hit the subscribe button if you haven't. Head over there, get all your United Liverpool questions in. What else was I gonna say? And run up the likes over there. And of course, we got the Warriors Rockets game 7 going on the YouTube and the playback as well. Might be a little bit late to that, but we'll get to it. But big up, love to everyone. Big up.
Out here trying to defend the freaking Brexit lovering. Come out of my face, man, Prime.
Big up, love to everyone locked in. This has been the Sarcasm City Sports Q&A live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube. See you lot in 2 minutes. Salute.